Let's be honest. You like your life, but you feel like something's missing. You want more freedom, more adventure, more clarity, and less anxiety.
You see people online traveling the world, loving life, and you wonder, how do they do it? In this video, we're going to spill their secrets.
We're Sumner and Allie. In 2020, we quit jobs that made us miserable and sold our belongings to travel the world and live life to the fullest. In this video, we're gonna walk you through the proven step-by-step process to become a digital nomad and gain the freedom to quit the 9-to-5 job that you hate to travel and live in the most beautiful, exciting, and affordable places on planet Earth, all within the next 12 months.
Sounds too good to be true? Or maybe way too complicated, scary, stressful, or expensive? Join the tens of thousands of digital nomads all around the world and prepare for your mind to be altered because you're about to learn things you've never heard about before.
Now, let's dive in. Welcome. So excited that you're here. And the fact that you're watching this video puts you ahead of 90% of your peers. And I hope you know that. And if you make it to the end of the video, you're gonna be in the top 1%. Yes. And as an added bonus to this video, once this video reaches 50 comments, we're gonna randomly choose one winner out of the comments who's gonna get a free 1-hour consultation with Allie and I, because we're about to cover a lot. It may seem a little bit overwhelming at first, but one lucky winner is gonna get custom help from us. Any questions that you have about any part of this digital nomad process, we're gonna be there for you. And also any questions you have along the way, you can feel free to comment. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video for a chance to win. And we're gonna have some other free bonuses scattered throughout the presentation. So be sure to make it to the end, but yeah, so excited for you. Okay.
And we're gonna announce the winner on our Instagram account.
That's right.
So be sure to follow us there as well.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where we've had these contests and we tell the person in the comments, hey, you won. They never get back to us. So we wanna make sure that if you win, you know that you won. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first and foremost, this is very exciting. All right, this is an old screenshot, but right now, today, not yesterday or last month or last year, today is the best time to become a digital nomad, live remotely, and travel the world. So this is a little screenshot that we pulled from Indeed. Like I said, it's a bit outdated, and this trend has continued to increase. So why is it the best time in human history to travel the world? There are more apps and programs like Airbnb, right, for lodging, more information on YouTube, on Reddit, and Facebook, and Instagram, and all these places about how to travel the world, how to work remotely, and of course, also remote positions, both for entrepreneur positions, freelancing, and actual remote work from different corporations as an all-time high. All of these things are at an all-time high, making it the easiest time in history to travel. So it's a really exciting time, and it's not like outdated, it's the opposite. It's only getting better and better and easier, which is probably why I've seen more and more content about this online. So first things first, right? Before we dive in, we're gonna address the elephant in the room, and that is money, okay? So you need money to travel, period. You need money to live. That's just the system that we exist in, and we're not really gonna get out of that, okay? That's just the reality of life. But what's amazing, and we're gonna cover this in later slides about working remotely and living abroad, is that you can live an amazing lifestyle. Just let's say 5-minute walk to the beach, an amazing supermarket, gym, you know, beautiful scenery, beautiful city, all of this, you know, completely safe, all of these things for dirt cheap compared to what you could get, for example, in California in the United States or other expensive places in Europe and things like that. So yeah, you need money, but you don't need as much as you think. And you can also make way more than you think at the same time. So how we need to think about money is, money is attracted to value, okay? A lot of times we think about what job am I going to get versus what value am I going to provide, and then money, if that makes sense. Like what position, what job can I get that makes a lot of money? Shift that a little bit to think, what value can I provide that I enjoy the most? So I enjoy this skill or this value the most, and it brings in the most amount of money like a magnet. What does that mean? Okay, well, so value, right, is basically what we know, providing value to somebody else, helping somebody else, like we're trying to do here in this video. And behind that value is the skill, right? Learning a skill that provides the value. So here's just a list of a few, very, very few high value and then therefore high income earning skills. So we have blog writing, you know, e-commerce optimization, Facebook ads, video editing, voice acting. There's so many things that you enjoy doing, right? Or that you can become good at. And then one thing I want to call out here is this is literally what yesterday we just hired a travel planner for $35 an hour.
Yes.
So $35 an hour, which for a lot of people, especially if you're living remotely, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
And if you already enjoy planning your own travels, your own vacations, maybe you help friends or family, you can literally learn this skill. And well, actually, we'll talk about it in a second, but you can go on different platforms, provide your skill, let's say $35 an hour, $45 an hour, get people to pay you for something you love doing and make more than what you're making at your current job and be able to do it anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing. It's all about learning a skill. And you may think, oh, okay, Summer, I get it. Yeah. Like you got to learn a high value skill like coding or copywriting or one of these other skills. But that takes forever. Like that would take me years. I thought you said I could like live abroad, within 1 year, like Allie and I did.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that. A lot's going to be uncovered here. But statistically, this is a very interesting kind of study that was done on this. And there's different studies. But we found this to be true as well. It takes about 20 hours of pure dedication. That means pure 20 hours, no bathroom breaks, right? I mean, this is over a period of time, right?
Please
but
take bathroom breaks.
Take bathroom breaks. But this means 20 straight hours, right? Fully focused. You're not looking at Instagram. You're not, talking to other people. But when you really allocate that 20 hours toward a specific skill, a brand new skill that you've never done before, you can have enough expertise to begin charging for that skill.
Yes.
Right? So you learn basically a new skill. You kind of choose like of that list, and there's more. Use ChatGPT, go on Google and type in, what are some different high value skills in, X year or whatever, like today, what are the highest value skills? Read through whatever piques your interest, look more into it, and then just start consuming content. Okay.
Yeah. And you might think that for some of these skills, oh my gosh, I need to go back to college. I need to invest a lot of money to actually learn those skills. But nowadays, just like it's the best time to travel, it is the best time to learn online for very inexpensive, if not free.
Free, yeah.
Yeah. So here are some of the learning platforms that there's so much valuable content. Honestly, put them together and it's way better than a college degree, and even separately. And definitely YouTube and Udemy are our top choices, top recommendations for where you should look into learning a skill. YouTube, free, there's all kinds of tutorials on everything. And Udemy is a great platform that offers full courses on a variety of topics.
And very cheap.
Very
on
cheap.
average, like $10 to $20 for courses. A lot of them suck, I will say, but there's many though, like the top percentile, which is the only ones that you'll take anyway, are like
really good.
Yeah, for example, and I don't mean to butt in. I know I talk a lot, but I learned, for example, email marketing and Google Ads on Udemy. It was like I forget, like a 10-hour to 20-hour course, so very in depth from expert instructors. I mean, these are better than any college professor. It was like, I can't believe I'm paying like $15 to learn this new skill. And I've now put that skill to work. Again, you don't need to learn these skills. It depends on, your position, your interests. But Udemy's been an amazing place. And YouTube's underrated. Yes. When you know what to look for, then you can go to YouTube and search. It's kind of like, first you need to know what to look for. Then when you know what to look for, you know exactly how to find the information for free on YouTube.
Yeah, those two actually work great together. Yeah. You take a course and you get super well acquainted with the topic. And now you know what you want to improve on, what you want to learn more of. Then you go to YouTube and honestly...
Or vice versa. You go to YouTube, get all the free information, and then what's missing, you take a course.
Yeah.
But those two I want to call out.
The point is, you can definitely learn a super high valuable skill for very cheap, if not free. Now, when it comes to offering that value, you can offer through a company, you can work for a company, or you can work for yourself. Now, there's pros and cons for each. When you work for a company, in the short term, it is faster and much more familiar. Like most of us have worked for somebody at some point. So you kind of know, you're used to being kind of told what to do. These are your tasks and so on. So it's a little bit faster to get started and get money.
Yeah, like high school, college, it's all designed to put you into like a cog in a machine, to put you into a company. You've probably submitted a resume before, edited a resume. You've probably worked some form of 9-to-5 job before. Yes. So it's faster, familiar.
Yes. Yeah. But in the long term, it is less lucrative and less rewarding than if you were working for yourself.
And by the way, we used to work for a company.
Yes.
Now we work for ourselves, just FYI, which we're going to cover in more detail.
And also, because the truth is, as long as you work for someone, that person needs to make a profit on you, on the job that you're performing. So that pretty much means you're never going to be paid what you're worth, because what's worth, it's the price of whatever you're offering, but your boss needs to take a cut. So you're always going to be paid less. So in the long term, it is less lucrative and less rewarding. When you work for yourself, In the short term, it can take a little bit longer to start getting some real money and like a little bit more of a stable income. But in the long term, it is way more lucrative. It can be way more lucrative and passive as well. You're going to see throughout this presentation, there are so many opportunities, so many things that you can do to really grow your own business, have this freedom of like working exactly when you want, making the money that you want, honestly, as long as you put in the work, and it's super rewarding.
Yeah. But, if you go, because, we want to cover all the information. So if you want to go to the kind of the fast and familiar route of applying to different positions, here are some, top free resume sites. You can take a screenshot, and also slides are going to be, the full slides will be provided at the end of the presentation. Yes. We'll have a QR code you can scan and get those slides, just FYI, but feel free to screenshot photos. This is all for you. So there's some free resume sites.
Yes. And for the top remote work sites, because we're talking about freedom here and being able to travel the world while you work, these are definitely the top sites that you want to check out. Obviously, LinkedIn, you can still get in contact with a ton of different companies that would offer remote work through LinkedIn, but there's also Indeed, FlexJobs, all that. And Upwork has been something there's definitely been standing out to us as business owners. We've been hiring people from Upwork, as well as we have acquaintances that offer services on Upwork as well. So definitely.
Yeah. And that's what I'll say. Yeah. Because all those top 6 that you see here on the screen, like LinkedIn, Indeed, FlexJobs, Glassdoor, Remote Co., all of those are more for, traditional kind of companies. Upwork, that's more if you have your skill that you've honed, you've put 20 hours in, that's it. You're good enough to start working. You work at a certain hourly rate. You learn while you work, right? You get a client. You're learning while you're doing the project with the client, getting hands-on experience, getting your first reviews.
Yeah.
Then as you get more experience and more reviews, you increase your hourly rate and so on and so on. But Upwork is, I would say overall, the best place if you're a freelancer. That's sort of the in-between between being self-employed and working for a company.
Yeah.
Because you're working for companies, but sort of on your own terms, on your own pay and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of a unique option, which is why we put it there at the bottom.
Yes.
But really amazing. And again, if you have any questions about this, because I know we're breezing through, let us know in the comments, which gives you a chance to win. So and then moving into, we kind of talked a little bit about where to go to get jobs that already exist. And guess what? Like I said, there's more remote jobs now than ever before.
Yes.
And it's also easier to create your own remote job, right? Your own remote company now than ever before. And when it comes to making your own business, you have 2 options. You can either sell services or products, okay? What is a service? A service is where you do the thing. Massage, you're a personal trainer, you're a dentist, you're doing the service. Of course, the digital side, travel planning, you plan someone's itinerary, and it's a custom kind of job. So services, right? Products, like it sounds, you sell cameras, you sell digital products, you sell, potted plants, you sell something, right? Shirts. And the big difference between services and products, and this is, there's a multimillionaire actually sat down with me, and this is actually this is where I quit my job, and we'll talk about this, got into Amazon and Etsy and all this stuff.
It's like the catalyst.
Yeah, it was like the catalyst was, she's like, Summer, look at the top Fortune 500 companies, the companies that make the most money. Do they sell services or products? They sell products, right? Think about Apple, ExxonMobil, they sell oil, Procter & Gamble with Tide, and there's Colgate, and all these different companies, right? Selling products. Services for you, okay, it doesn't matter if you're a big company, but for you specifically, it can be easier to start up because it's just you and your skill. So let's say I'm a social media manager. I'm ready to go, like, all right, I can start getting paid because I have the skill with me. You just need to hire me and then I'll do the skill for you. So it's really quick. I can, put something on Fiverr.com or Upwork, start getting work pretty much immediately. The con is, in my opinion, and this is I've talked to 8-figure agency owners that have services, that do Amazon advertising and other things. People are great, but they're also a headache.
Yes.
You can think about this, right? You want to quit your 9-to-5 job, just like all of us, honestly. We really did. It made me miserable. I was crying in my car because I hated it so much. And part of the reason I hated it so much was the people, the culture. I just didn't vibe. I didn't feel like I belonged there. I didn't like submitting to somebody else who I honestly didn't think was leading the company in the best direction. So the more people you surround yourself with, and when you want to grow a services-based company, you're going to be doing it yourself. Then you're going to have to hire in more people if you really want to grow. Or even if you want to keep it as a solopreneur, just you're going to deal with clients. Some clients are going to be great. Other ones are going to really suck.
Yeah. It's almost like working for someone
exactly.
Like, you want to be your own boss, but when you have clients, sometimes it feels like you have a boss.
I find when you move into services, that's sort of like the freelance realm. it's like an improvement or a step up from your 9 to 5. Like you have more freedom. You can kind of turn down certain clients. But there's still the stress that's kind of associated. You still have to do meetings and report back. People are going to ask, why'd you do this? Or this isn't what we expected. And a little bit of stress there. Where with products, it's way more, it can be, when it's done correctly, way more passive, way more lucrative. Why? Because services, you have to sell the service all the time. As soon as you stop, the services stop coming in. With products, when you do it right, and we'll show you how, they sell themselves. But the downside is you'll sometimes need more upfront capital. You'll need some money to start spending, for example, to buy inventory or to hire a designer or things like that to, a little bit more upfront capital. And it could be a little bit slower. I remember when we started our products-based business, it was like before we started making profit, it was like 4 months.
Yeah. Yes, because there was a whole
first sale.
Yeah.
3
all
months.
The time.
Yeah.
To the point where we started, to the point that we received money in our bank account, it was almost like 5 months.
Where if we were in services, it probably would have been like 1 month. So not a huge difference. And again, we were able to, from day one of selling our first product on Amazon, which like I said, we'll talk about here in a second, within 1 year period, we were able to quit our jobs and leave and fully travel remotely. So we really look more into products, but it can always be a stepping stone. And what I did is I quit my 9 to 5, went into services, then went into products.
Yeah.
So that can be something for you. Don't always think about what's the best option possible. What's the best option for you right now, or just to the best of your ability? Do that, learn from it, and life is just a continual stepping up, continual improvements. And so that's just kind of our insight. And again, this is like an angel investor shared this with me, changed my life, and you're getting this for free that you don't have to pay for. So
as far as services, we've already mentioned a couple websites where you can offer that service, like Upwork. When it comes to selling products, the 2 top places to sell are definitely Amazon and Etsy.
Yeah. And Amazon, which we'll cover kind of first, is by far number one. Why? For a few reasons. There's 3 big reasons. So number one, Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the world. It's the biggest place where people go to buy things online in the entire planet. And there's Amazon.com, Amazon UK, Germany, Australia, and they're constantly growing into other markets, United Arab Emirates, Japan, many places, right? They're constantly growing. So they're the biggest place, right? When you want to go sell a product, it's like, where should I go sell my product? Go to the biggest place, right? Because that's where most of your customers are going to be. So that's number one. You're like, okay, I get it, but I still have some hesitations. We'll check this out. So Amazon, what's really cool is they actually handle all customer service of your product. So when people have issues, returns, things like that, storage, shipping, returns, all of this. And basically how it works is about 30% of whatever the product price is, you pay that to Amazon for all of these services that you get. But the beauty of this is, so you're tapping in when you sell your own product on Amazon to the largest e-commerce marketplace in the world, which basically means the most revenue potential. Number 2 is it can be semi-passive. You can operate it from any place on earth. We've traveled about 35 countries. And the whole time we've been selling on Amazon this entire time, managing inventory, all of that, because Amazon does that. And my favorite reason for selling on Amazon, and so many people don't know this, is that 60% of products that are purchased on Amazon are from people like you and me, the technical word is third-party seller. So that means out of the past 100 products, let's say that you or your mom or whoever bought on Amazon, 60 of those 100 were from third-party sellers like us. And here is a screenshot that we took from our own, one of our own Amazon accounts over the past 30 days. We've generated almost $70,000 in revenue from our own product sales. By the way, that number is only increasing because we have new products that are launching.
Yeah.
Our last product was constantly out of stock because it was selling so well. But that's basically a big mindset shift for me and for us. Was we used to think on Amazon, it's only these big companies and corporations.
Big brands,
Yeah, they're selling products. But not only a lot, but most are, third-party sellers. So that's just, kind of crazy. But the opportunity here on Amazon is huge. And we'll actually dive into the step-by-step process here in a second. But that's kind of a little bit about Amazon.
Yeah, and about Etsy, yes, you can sell physical products on Etsy. It actually used to be known to be the place to go for customizable gifts and handmade things. But Etsy is the king of digital products. Now, what are digital products? There are so many of them, but there are many situations where you can think of a physical product, but that you can actually make into a digital product, like printable artwork, for example. Instead of printing artwork, shipping to the customer, you can create that digital file where you sell the digital file, the customer just prints however they want, they download, they print, and for you, it's just a digital product. You can create spreadsheets, planners, like fitness trackers or templates, so many things that you can do digitally that the customer will receive, and they may or may not use it digitally like a spreadsheet, or they might themselves print or do something like that, like baby shower decorations, things like that.
And there's also like print on demand products, which are digital products where you make the design,
yes,
and somebody else prints it and then ships it, but basically digital product. And
yeah, for your purposes, it's a digital product because you're never shipping the product to the customer yourself, even though the customer is receiving a physical product. But that is the beauty of Etsy. And it's so exciting because, as we're going to dive into a little bit more later, there are some downsides of selling physical products that you don't have while selling.
Yeah, the biggest one is
products.
inventory, physical inventory. Like when you have, even though Amazon handles all inventory, you know, you have to watch it. You know, okay, I'm selling out like this many. Okay, then I need to order this many more so I don't run out of stock, right? So it's kind of like that management that you kind of need to be watching out, or you can hire someone to watch out like we have.
But with digital, you can sell millions.
Because think about how much inventory you have. Infinite inventory. There's a billion digital copies, right, that you have.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's just kind of one of the beauty of it. And then before we move on, one really important point. All the time we get asked when we talk about Etsy and Amazon. Oh, so like drop shipping. So you guys do drop shipping? Heck no, we don't do drop shipping, and we wouldn't recommend it to you. So some of you who are watching are considering dropshipping or have heard of it, and we want to warn you. If you've never heard about dropshipping, just kind of take this as a warning. Basically, what dropshipping is where you market and sell an existing product, usually some cheap made in China product that's just crappy, that you try to like push and promote. You know, you partner with influencers, you run Facebook ads to a Shopify website, basically just a website, right? Like Wix or WooCommerce or all these different kind of sites. But you run it to Shopify and try to make sales. And the majority of the time it doesn't work. It fails because you have no control of the product. And you need to spend a lot of money. For example, one of the most common ways to sell drop shipping products is with Facebook ads. So you have to spend a lot of money on Facebook ads before you even make one sale. And then you have to constantly run ads. As soon as you stop running, sales stop coming in. So it's very low margin. You actually have to spend a lot of money. People lie because it's a lot of people who don't even do drop shipping that lie to you on YouTube. But they say, oh, you can start for a very low amount of money, you know, because you don't have to, you know, pay for the inventory, whatever. You have to pay for the advertising. It's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're driving, no one knows your product or your website, and then it's a crappy product. Nobody buys it. So,
and it's not as easy to run Facebook ads and Google ads.
Exactly. And then it comes to the skills. So it's high skills. You have to be, if you're an expert at Facebook ads, Google ads, consider drop shipping. But guess what? If you're an expert, you can also sell on Etsy and Amazon. And there's a lot of crossover between, for example, Google ads and Amazon PPC. But regardless, you have to be an amazing digital marketer already. Number two, you need a good amount of money to get started running ads. And then number three is you don't control the product. Okay. So don't recommend it. It works for some people. Some people do an amazing job with drop shipping. It's very specific type of products. But in general, like Shopify drop shipping wouldn't be a recommendation from us. There's a reason we don't do it. We have every ability to do it, and we don't because it's not worth it. So this is just a little kind of tidbit. Now, to give you a lot more value on the Amazon FBA process without going too in depth, because I could spend 2 hours on this alone, just covering it. I'm just going to cover the high level. So Amazon FBA, you know, we're excited about it. Cool. How does it work, Sumner? Great. Here's how it works. You will go and use a tool like Helium 10. Helium 10 is an Amazon keyword and Amazon product research tool. Okay. It's just a tool for Amazon. And what you're going to do is find holes in the market. You're going to find keywords or words basically that customers are typing into Amazon.com. They're going on Amazon, they're typing in, for example, grounding shoes, because they want to buy grounding shoes. So they type in grounding shoes, they look at the options, but guess what? Here's a real world example. About 6,000, you can see in the search volume column there's about 6,000 monthly searches for the word grounding shoes on Amazon. So that's, you know, another way of thinking it is about 6,000 people, unless they're typing it, the same person's typing it over and over, but 6,000 people are looking for grounding shoes every month on Amazon. How many options are on Amazon for grounding shoes? Zero options. So what does that mean? That means if I'm a new seller, I can create grounding shoes, sell them on Amazon. So when anyone types in grounding shoes and other keywords, right? But grounding shoes, they see my product. It's right there on page one. A percentage are going to click and buy, and I profit from it because there's no other options, or there's very few other options. And there's a lot of opportunities like this on Amazon. It's going to take some time to find these opportunities, but they're there. And by the way, there's literally tens of thousands of these, maybe hundreds of thousands, without exaggerating. There are so many opportunities like this.
Yeah.
We just have to know how to look for it. So I won't go into the detail of how. We have videos on the Amazing Escape Plan YouTube channel, which we'll be linking in the description, which has full tutorials on exactly what I'm talking about right here. It literally takes you an hour diving in, and by the end of the video, you can find an opportunity like this. So, okay, you find a hole in the market, let's say grounding shoes. Then what you do is go to a site called Alibaba.com, and you find a supplier. Alibaba.com is like Amazon for suppliers. So think about like manufacturers, companies that make products, okay? Because you want a product to sell, they make it. You're not going to make it at home, right? You're not stitching and making grounding shoes, right? Yeah. I have no idea how to do that. You have no idea how to do that, but guess what? There's experts in China who know exactly how to do that.
Or other countries.
Yeah, or other countries, Vietnam, Thailand, India, Pakistan, Mexico, many other countries.
USA
Canada, United States and Canada. Yep.
But
yeah, with Alibaba.com, it makes it super easy. It's one of these technologies that, again, it just makes online business so much easier and breaks down all these old barriers. And what you do is, in this case, let's say instead we want to sell a mug on Amazon. We found a great opportunity. It's a mug for moms. Okay, great. So we go into Alibaba, we type in mugs, we find companies, also known as suppliers, that create mugs, right? And then we reach out to them. We're like, hey, here's what I want. Like, I see you're making a mug that's similar to what I want. So here's specifically what I want. Like, here's a photo. You can literally take a product on Amazon. Here's what we want. But then you have like drawings over it of like an arrow and like, no, change this, change the material here or whatever. Just however you want to customize it.
Make your product better to be the best in the marketplace.
Exactly, which goes back in point one. Again, I have full videos talking about this, but you find the product, you also read the reviews, which are free. You literally see, here's what people love about the existing products that are similar. Like, instead of grounding shoes, what do people like about these other shoes that are similar to grounding shoes?
Or find grounding shoes that are outside of Amazon.
Yeah, like Walmart.com or like in Walmart stores or something, and read the reviews, get feedback, and like, okay, what do you like and dislike? What people dislike, change it. What people like, make sure you do it. You take that information, go to Alibaba. Hey, here's what we want. Make this product for us. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell you, okay, here's how much it's going to cost. Here's how much, the minimum order quantity. And they can make a sample for you. So you say, here's what we want. Please make a sample for us. They'll make a sample, send it to you anywhere in the world. You'll get it, touch it, and feel it like the shoe or the mug. And you're like, oh, it's really good overall. But guess what? This is missing. I really want to change this. Can we change the color of this? Can we change the material of this? And they say, yes, we can. Then they go back, make another sample, and you just go back and forth. If it's a more complex product, it'll take a little bit more time. But a lot of products are pretty simple. Yeah. So it's a little bit of back and forth. Get the product right. Awesome. Product's there. You'll buy a minimum order. So it could be like 100 units, 300, 500. Totally depends on the product, okay? And how many you want to sell. Demand. Exactly. If it's super high demand, make $1 million a month, okay, that would be a huge amount of products you need to buy. But getting started, you don't need to buy that many, okay, for most niches. So you buy an initial order, send it to Amazon. And remember, Amazon handles all customer service, storage, shipping, returns, all of that, so you don't have to. So just like us, we can operate this from anywhere on the planet as long as we have Wi-Fi, and which is in today's day and age, literally anywhere. In the middle of the desert of Namibia, we have super fast Wi-Fi. Anyway, it's awesome. It's just an awesome time, an amazing time in the world. Despite all the craziness you hear in the news, it's like, in some ways, maybe the best and worst time in human history. But focus on the good, because there's some amazing things. So produce and ship to Amazon, send it in. Once it's in, you'll create what's called an Amazon listing. This is just a collection of text and images that describes your product. Because basically, if someone searches for your product, they need to see what it is before they buy it. So they want to see images and text. Like, okay, I'm looking for grounding shoes. Boom, there's a grounding shoes. Or in this case, what is that? Hair dryer. Okay, volumizer. I need a hairbrush. Boom, there's a hairbrush. I can see. Awesome. A percentage of people are going to buy it. And then once you have the inventory in Amazon, you have your listing. Then the last step is to send some traffic. Okay, so this could be if you already have your own Instagram account, Amazon advertising, blog posts. You can partner with other influencers. Hey, for every sale, so promote this for free. For every sale that you make, you're going to get a percentage. There's so many ways to do it. But basically, what does that mean by sending traffic? Like, if you're not in the digital marketing world, what does that mean? It means, hey, everybody, my product's for sale. Check this out. And it should be a good product because you did your research. It's a solid product. You've touched it. You felt it. It's amazing. A percentage of people are going to buy it. So You send traffic to your listing. It's like, hey, this is a new product. Everyone check it out. A percentage of people are going to buy. And once Amazon sees traffic and people buying the product, they're going to take your listing. When it starts off, your listing that you created, the images and text, it's going to be on like page 50, page 3, somewhere deep in the Amazon search engine. The best place to hide a dead body is page 3 of Amazon. You want to be on page 1, visible, right? When someone types in a keyword, you're right there. They're going to take it, they're going to put it in the first page. So when someone types in, grounding shoes, barefoot shoes, meditation shoes, I don't know what it would be, healthy shoes, vegan shoes, holistic shoes, whatever those keywords are, your listing, your product is right there. Boom. The higher it is, the more people are going to click and buy organically. That's the beauty about Amazon, going back to drop shipping or selling your own products or services on your own. You have your own website. Like, hey, everyone, this is for sale. You sit back, a few people come and buy, and then it's over.
Yeah.
With Amazon, people come and buy. And like I said, the shoppers are already there.
Yes, that is
the biggest platform. It's like going to Times Square and setting up a shop in Times Square versus going to the middle of Wyoming for my American friends, the middle of Mongolia, the middle of the desert, Congo or the Sahara Desert, and opening a store. Which one are you going to get more sales?
Yeah.
A shoe store in Times Square or a shoe store in the middle of the desert? Well,
yeah.
Why? Because the traffic, the people, the shoppers are there.
Yes.
That's the beauty about it. So you can in certain cases, like the last product that we just launched, we still sent traffic and everything, but it's very little. We could not keep this thing in inventory. Like people are just buying it up, ranking, it's just like literally we didn't have enough, like we, listed it for sale and just flies off the shelf, basically.
As soon as it became online on Amazon, no reviews, no outside traffic. And that's the thing. When you do it right, when you do that first step right of finding the holes in the market, the product sells itself, honestly. And because Amazon already has the customer. So
exactly.
It works beautifully.
So so it's a super and just to kind of illustrate the level of this, literally making this webinar, I asked Ali, like, hey, what is like a product we should use as an example? I'm just, running through the slides. What should we do? And she's like, like a makeup headband. So I'm like, okay, I go on Amazon, literally pull this data from Helium-10. So this is estimated monthly revenue, which isn't 100% accurate, but it's very, very close. It's a very good estimate. Some of these will be a little bit higher or lower, but it's a very good estimate. And if you look here in the revenue column, okay, for the top selling spa headband or makeup headband, which are basically just these pink fluffy headbands people are selling on Amazon, the top seller is doing almost $600,000 per month in revenue. And I'm telling you, there are certain products that do $1 million per month, one product in revenue. That's not typical. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't expect to necessarily make that on your first, your first product launch. Also, the more revenue that you make, that means that's more inventory you have to buy.
Yes.
But the purpose of this is not to say, oh, this is typical. There's the scale. There is it's almost incomprehensible, especially when we're working at 9 to 5, of just how much money is being made and that you can legitimately make on Amazon. Again, when doing it correctly with the correct process, which we have, again, free full videos on our other kind of business YouTube channel, which we'll be linking in the description section.
Yeah.
But you can pull any random product and look, like wine stoppers. There was a bunch of other products we're looking at, like Tupperware, whatever, like little plastic bowls.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to highlight, is that we tend to tell people, find a niche that you're passionate about, that you have interested in, and because that helps you develop the product. There's definitely great opportunity when you're passionate about what you're selling. However, don't get too attached to that, because you would be surprised by how much money people are making selling paper, selling trash bags, selling
especially office products.
Office products
are huge.
Things that are not necessarily cool that you're selling.
As an example, I'll tell you this as an example, just a last example before we move on. One of the students in our Amazon course on Udemy, so he is big in the automotive space. So he has this knowledge of automotive, and there's this part that I'm not big in the automotive space, so I don't know. And we're a little bit hush-hush about our products because we don't want a bunch of copycats coming in and basically selling the same thing. But there's this product that was selling really well in Amazon Germany. Americans were buying this, I don't know if it's for a Corvette or something. It's a very specific automotive part. And we're just buying it from Germany because there's nothing available in the US. So he's like, why don't I make my own version, sell it in the US? Took the product, bought it from Germany, sat down with his wife, analyzed like, how can we make this better? Read reviews, went to Alibaba. Anyway, long story short, he made his own version, started selling it on Amazon. Last time I checked, he's doing $60,000 per month in revenue from one product with, I think, a 20% profit margin.
Yeah. It's
huge.
Aside from that, there's even, let's say you're not into automotive, but you found that hole in the market.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You can make great money. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're passionate like us, is in travel, is in the freedom. You don't need necessarily to be super interested in the product that you're selling.
Yes.
You actually, it's funny, you end up becoming more and more interested in the day-to-day things, in selling on Amazon. You might think like, oh my gosh, I never thought I'd be an Amazon seller. When I grow up, I want to be an Amazon seller. When we grow up,
we want to be we want to be free. We want to be making lots of money. We want to be having amazing experiences with loved ones. We want to have control of our lives. We want to be in the best health possible. That's what we want. So I really don't care. Again, assuming it's ethical and legal, which it all is, we'll do it, you know? And it's just
Amazon is an amazing way to achieve that.
It'll take some time to learn, and it will take some initial startup. So if you want to use your own money, there's 2 ways to get started on Amazon. If you want to use your own money, realistically, it's going to cost about $6K to get started minimum, okay, with your own money. But guess what? Another great thing about Amazon with any other business, and we have another student who did this, well, I won't say his name, but who did this in the UK, is he's like, hey, Sandro, man, I don't have any money. So what I did is I went to some investors, basically just some friends in his community, in his, I think his mosque or whatever. But he was like, hey, like I have this product idea that I found on Amazon, but I have no money. Give me the money. Like give me, I think it was like 10K or something to start, or whatever in pounds. Give me 10K to start. And we'll split the profits 50-50. So I'll do all the work. Like I'll set up the listing, I'll negotiate with suppliers, I'll do all the work, but you provide the money and we'll split the money. And there you go. So he got started, and I haven't checked back in, but and I won't say what his product is, but he's doing very well. $0 to get started on Amazon, but you do need money. So you need money. Where it comes from, it doesn't have to be from you. In our case, how we got started was around 6 to 7K, I think, when we got our first product launch in
2018.
Mid 2018. What we did is I had almost exactly 6K in my 401k at the company that I quit after 6 months of working there. Took the 6K out. We put that into our first product. The profit we made from our first product rolled into the next, and so on. So there's different ways you can get funding from friends or family or other entrepreneurs in Facebook groups and things like that. You can bootstrap your own, and you'd be shocked. If you do need to come up with the money on your own, there's a lot of ways to do it. Again, I'm not going to recommend and give you financial advice of like, oh, go into credit card debt to do this. No. But there's ways to bootstrap. Go to a wealthy area, set up a car wash, and say, hey, we're starting a new business. We'll wash your car for free. We accept donations. You can make $3,000 in one day. There's a famous YouTuber actually did that. There's a million.
There's so many ways. And so also
just get you excited and just open your mind about it.
And also the 6,000, 2 notes about that. This is, of course, going to vary depending on your product, depending on the demand of your product. Maybe it's a more expensive product that you don't need to sell as many, you don't need to order as many. So this is on average. And also, this is by doing things right.
Exactly.
So we summed up everything. We're not like, don't skimp on product images, don't skimp on product videos and so on. We listed out everything. So you can do it with 6K on average.
Yeah, realistically, there's people telling you can start on Amazon FBA for $200 or $1,000 or $2,000. They're lying to you. Run away because they're a fake guru who's never sold on Amazon. We sell on Amazon. We're going to continue to sell on Amazon. We're legit. We have our results, you know. So that's just kind of a little recommendation. But by the way, the whole point of this is I hope you're excited and at the very least open your mind and writing down probably a lot of notes, and you know now kind of where to go to look for some more information.
And pretty soon we're going to get to the fun part of you traveling the world.
Exactly. Yeah, this is all build up, and I know there's a lot, but it's I hope you're excited. So yeah, that's Amazon. Again, a little bit more capital intensive, and that's why we have Etsy.
That's why we have Etsy. We sell on both, and we see the magic of both kind of like models. So with Etsy, it's very similar to Amazon, the way you start off in terms of we use certain tools to find holes in the market. And once we find something, we then create a digital product. Now, you may be thinking, I'm not a designer. I don't know how to create these things. You can create yourself if you do have the skills, but if you don't, you can hire someone to do it for you. You can hire a designer. These are the best websites that we use to find designers to create things, digital products for us. Upwork, FreeUp, Freelancer, and Fiverr. And once you create this product, you pay someone once, then all you have to do is put together a listing, starting by the product images. So one tool that we absolutely love is Canva. Canva is the best free tool
that exists. Like,
for entrepreneurs.
It's a graphic design tool for people who aren't graphic designers like us. You can make beautiful graphics, images, social media posts, banners, email templates, brochures, flyers, all kinds of stuff, menus for restaurants. You
can even create the digital product that you're about to sell within Canva. There's tons of templates, things for you to use. You can create Canva templates to sell. Endless opportunities.
Yeah, so you can get started for free, create your own digital product. But if you're like, oh, I really don't have the skills, I really don't want to learn graphic design, you can hire someone inexpensively in another country to do it for you. So you pay someone to make a product that makes money for years to come. That's basically the idea here. So yeah, you got the product, you have the free images in Canva.
You make images, and because it's digital, you don't need to take those amazing photos. You can create everything digitally. Then you create a listing. So as we mentioned about Amazon before, we craft a title, description, everything. You can use ChatGPT to help you do that for free as well and do an amazing job.
Yeah, and we have a full, I have a prompt that you can use for ChatGPT. Literally, you just edit the prompt with your specific product information, and it'll make a highly professional, fully optimized Etsy description for you. Again, the link, it's all our other, online business YouTube channel, The Amazing Escape Plan. So you can check that out. But yeah, like I said, there's all the free tools are out there. It's very, very low to get started.
So once you create your listing, your product is live, and now you collect the money. Like, I will say that the majority of things that people buy are physical products. Like we were just during Christmas, the percentage of physical products that were sold versus digital it's like obvious. But again, there's so many pros in selling digital products. First of all, people are more and more working remote, buying things, buying templates, wanting to get their lives organized. You can be so creative. Like people who are doing DIY projects, you create these templates for them to do it.
Yeah, more digital products are sold in the past 12 months than ever, than in any other year previous. Like again, that's another thing that's only increasing. Digital products are also increasing.
Yes. And as you can see, here is a screenshot from a tool called Everbee that we use. And these are some of the top selling digital products. The top one.
Digital planners.
Digital planners. Yeah. The top one sells almost $60,000 in revenue per month. And again, that is almost all profit.
Mostly, depending on the seller, it can be like 70 to 90% profit margin. So like one product on Etsy can free up the rest. Like it's just crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy what it can do.
You could make as much as someone makes in a whole year in 1 month from a digital product without the headache.
Yeah. And want to caution, like this isn't typical. This is on the higher end to show you the potential of it. But
of course.
Yeah, with a few products, you can change your life. So
yes, and the really key point here is that there are so many opportunities to be found, to be created. Even something as competitor as this. If you are a very creative person, if you have a different approach, you could be highly successful. And again, it's not something that you need to invest a lot of money in. So you can just test things out. So like we said, we do both models, and this has allowed us to travel the world, like have made us financially free. So that's why we want to share with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because people ask all the time, how do you guys travel? And that's exactly how. And again, you can learn more at Sumner and Alley Hobart at the Amazing Escape Plan YouTube channel. At the current moment, I think we have about 30,000 subscribers, fastly growing. So things like this going way more in depth than anything that we kind of covered here.
Yes.
You can find more there. And again, you can comment on this video with other questions that you have. So I know we talked a lot about money. It's an important kind of problem to solve or a challenge to overcome for all of us. Now we can actually get into the fun stuff.
Yes.
So talk about choosing your location. So
yes. So now you're financially free, or you have your
remote job or your own business on Etsy, on Amazon, or wherever.
Yes.
Money's coming in, right? And it's going to happen literally within the next few months that this can really be happening.
Yeah.
Now it's time to choose a location.
Yes. So let's get started with one of our favorite tools. If you're a little bit lost with all of the different options, because honestly, you can go anywhere in the world, there's this tool called Nomad List, and it compares several different aspects. So like cost of living, like how the quality of Wi-Fi, how friendly it is, how safety, everything across many different cities. So that's definitely a website that we recommend, even for you to just start planning, start dreaming, start seeing some of the places that you would be interested in.
Yeah, it's basically some of like the top cities around the world for digital nomads. And keep in mind, there's no such thing as, oh, this is the best city. It depends on you and your preference. Like weather-wise, even if you're okay with a little bit, with safety or whatever, or, tropics.
Everything, yes.
So
here are some of our top picks. Keeping in mind that you're going to be working, you are a digital nomad, is like, it's not in the middle of nowhere where you're not going to have Wi-Fi or anything.
Yeah, in general, obviously you could probably go in the middle of nowhere with some of these countries, but all these countries have amazing cities or small towns, great Wi-Fi, safe, inexpensive in all different parts of the world, different climates, different nature,
Yes.
you know, all of that. And also very popular for many other digital nomads as well.
Definitely.
So you can go and connect and network. Of course, everyone's, you know, varies in each of those categories a little bit.
Yeah, and the cost of living will vary, of course, depending on these places. And you can start by going, like, let's say you're not making that much money right now, maybe start going with places that are a little bit more budget friendly, like Southeast Asia.
Yeah, Vietnam. By the way, yeah, I would say Malaysia. Of this list, in our experience, Malaysia is the number one in terms of the quality that you get. You get very inexpensive food, very inexpensive stays. That's just one I would like to highlight, like, of this list, but all these are really great options to look into. Oh, and by the way, you might be like writing all these down or trying to take a screenshot. Again, all the slides will be provided at the end for those who make it to the end. So yeah, just our personal top picks and our experience.
Yeah, and another great website is Numbeo. So this website will compare in many different aspects as well, the cost of living between two different cities. So right now, for example, you can input the city that you live in and then your dream city, a place that you want to visit. And you can see in each things like consumer prices, rent, restaurants, groceries. Is it higher or lower on average for someone?
And it's funny, this is the exact website that we did. We're in the winter in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's cold outside. It's miserable. It's ugly. And we are making money on Amazon. And we're like, why are we here?
Yeah.
And then Ali is from Brazil, for those of you that don't already know. And we're like, what's the cost of living in Brazil? What are some of the top places? So we looked Cincinnati, Ohio versus Florianopolis, Brazil. So we could be 5 minutes from the beach, great weather overall, you know, all year round, doesn't snow, doesn't get super cold and ugly. Great surfing community, other digital nomads, super friendly locals, amazing food, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. And I'm like, we use Numbeo. We're like, prices are lower in every single category. Rental car was like $15 a day, $12 a day to rent a car.
It was $50 for a week.
For a week.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And then we went there and we're like, why didn't we do this sooner? So this was a super helpful tool. And I remember using this distinctly.
Yeah, it was
that helped make us leave. So this is really exciting stuff. I hope you're excited because it's fun to even just daydream about it, visualize it, right? Think about it. Even if, you know, you don't have solid plans yet, it's fun to do. And then moving kind of into accommodations. So like you're making money, great. And again, it can be less than you're making now, at least for a starter, and you can have a better lifestyle. Keep that in mind. You choose a country, you know, or maybe a couple that you want to get started in, and you're like, okay, what about living? Like, how do I move to a new country? Even for like a few months, for a year, for longer, how do I do this? Well, here are the top places and sites that we use for choosing our accommodations. Number one is Airbnb. It's mostly what we do is Airbnb for our lifestyle and what we want. But there's Airbnb, Vrbo, Agoda for, you know, Asia, Hostel World and Couchsurfing, and Facebook groups. Those three are great for more budget friendly. I guess I'm especially more of a loner. I like quiet. I hone into my work. I go out when I want. I don't like being in an environment with a lot of other people. You might be the exact opposite. You're like, I want to be in a place, man. I don't want to be alone. I'm single, or we're a couple. We want to meet other people. So hostels, it can be great because it's more, in a lot of cases, can be inexpensive and a great networking opportunity. You can meet amazing people, like-minded like yourself. And
with Facebook groups too, these are the go-to places if you want to go for a little bit longer. So let's say you want to spend 6 months in a place. Airbnb is great. You will get monthly discounts on Airbnb, but Facebook groups can find you even more budget-friendly options for like furnished places and so on. So definitely check in Facebook groups for the destination that you're
like for example, Taiwan, when we were looking for a place to stay in Taiwan, which we ended up doing shorter. Yeah, it was like Facebook groups. Same thing with South Korea as well. Some different countries. If you don't see a lot of options online, definitely check Facebook groups, little hack. So, and then also when we're looking to stay, we've now stayed in over 100 Airbnbs. Okay, we know what we're doing when it comes to looking for Airbnbs and what not to look for. And this goes for other places as well. We mostly stay in Airbnb. So some things we look for is number one, 4.7 star rating or better. 4.6 for Airbnb is bad. You're going to have problems. I guarantee it. Okay, in most cases. And number two, whenever you're looking for a place to stay, envision, you know, because you're working remotely. So envision the work. Okay, so on a day-to-day basis, do you want to work in the same place that you sleep? Are you okay with that? I'm not. So I want a different place. If you're okay with that, that's fine. But literally in the images on one of these sites, look and be like, okay, where am I going to be working on a day-to-day basis? Is that a good work environment for me? And just overall environment, right? So working area, we always ask about Wi-Fi because there's been times where we go and it's like 7 Mbps. You want a bare minimum of 10, but ideally 20 or more. 20 is really the minimum that we have. So you want to ask and say, hey, go online, like to your host, please like let me know the Wi-Fi download speed in Mbps, they can run what's called, you can go on Google, type in Wi-Fi speed test and have them run it. And they can send you a screenshot just to verify, because if you're working online, it's super important, right? Yes. So important. It's not, you're not there for fun. You're there to work and to live, right? It's your new life. So always ask about that.
And one thing that it took us a little bit of a time to realize is that we can pretty much make anything work. Yes. Like if you want, you can make it work. So let's say they have really weak Wi-Fi. Ask about upgrading. Like you love the place, the location is great and everything.
Yeah, and the Wi-Fi is slow. Say, hey, we'll pay to upgrade. Or, hey, could you upgrade? And half the time they do it for free, half the time you need to pay.
Yes. Or like a working space. There was one Airbnb we absolutely loved, but there wasn't really a desk. It was whatever. We asked, can we buy a table? Can you buy? And they were able to provide a table.
Well, yeah, they bought a table for the property. Yes. We didn't have to buy it. So like, yeah, so keep that in mind as well. But you want to make sure also that you're close to restaurants, supermarket. If you work out, there's either a gym in the facility, in the area, or within walking distance. You know, whatever's important to you, just make sure that you're getting it. And in terms of like, how do we know, Sumner? Google Maps. In general, except for South Korea, that one, Google Maps didn't work. I don't know. They have another app. You can Google that in case you're looking to go to South Korea. But other than that, everywhere in the world, Google Maps has been great. I can literally see, okay, there's a 4.5-star restaurant, 5-minute walk from this area, a 4-minute walk from here, 10-minute walk to the barber, blah, blah, blah. Like you can see everything in Google Maps. Just basically the whole point of this is what? Is to visualize where you're going to be before you're there. But looking at reviews, you have images, that's going to really help because obviously you're nervous. Like, this is my first time going abroad. Like, I guess we weren't as nervous when we went to Florianopolis, Brazil. That was our first place was Brazil to live abroad. By the way, it was an amazing time.
Gosh. We considered living there forever.
Yeah, we still, I mean, yeah, I don't think now we're leaning toward Portugal, but just a side note, it's an amazing part of the world. And I remember going from Cincinnati, I don't know, we weren't that nervous because we had everything, Airbnb, we had all this.
And there's so much content online. If you're interested in a destination, connect with people, watch vlogs, watch.
The world is safer than you think it is. Yes. I can promise you that. Yes, there's danger in the world. Don't get me wrong. Be careful, okay? Don't.
But there's dangers where you live as well.
Germany, United States, everywhere. It's actually kind of crazy what we think of dangers or safe. That's another, I know, big concern people have. But again, do your research and here's some specific things to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a little bit about lodging. And there's a couple other key things.
And when it comes to packing and prepping to go on this amazing adventure, honestly, you might think, oh my gosh, I have so many things. Like, how am I going to bring everything with me? Like when I go on a 2-week vacation, I already overpack. But the truth is you need less than you think. All you need is a backpack, luggage, basic toiletries. You can find toiletries anywhere you go. Yeah. Your documentation, passport, everything. International data plan. This is really important for Wi-Fi for you to stay connected. We personally use AirAlo. It works on, I believe, 89 countries, and they're always adding new ones. Or you can buy a SIM card wherever you go.
Exactly. And that's important. Yeah. If you don't have a data plan like AirAlo, you're like, well, how do I, call people or text people? It's like, get a local SIM card. A lot of times in the airport that you're stopping, this is like in all countries.
Yes.
Like
every single country.
My mom always asks, this is so funny. Mom, I know my mom's not watching this, but, but all the time, do they have this in this country? Do they have toothpaste here?
Yeah.
Do they have data here? Do they have Wi-Fi here? Do people live it? It's like,
yes.
If you're watching this, you probably know a little bit better, but you can find a lot of this stuff. You don't have to bring everything. Yes. It'll be there. You just buy it there.
Also, your electronics, of course, for you to work and get, like there's the basics, get a outlet adapter, your laptop charges everything, and versatile clothing. So the key to going on a 2-week vacation or going for years if you want is versatile clothing. Have layers, things that you can put together if it gets colder, or if you're only interested in tropical places, then that's much easier.
Shorts and t-shirt. I know 3 people personally. So what they have, each of the people, they have a backpack.
Yeah. It's free. It's free.
One backpack. That's it. No storage unit. No, not. They have one backpack. They've sold everything else. They have nothing else.
Yes.
Okay.
We travel with a checked bag. We
have like 2 backpacks and I think 3 total bags.
2 backpacks, which is actually 2 carry-ons, and 1 checked bag. It is quite a bit. That's what we decided.
It's what we want, but it is freeing. The less stuff that you have, the more freeing it is. Because everything you own, just keep this in mind, is everything that you own, it takes up space in your brain all the time. Yeah. The more stuff you get rid of, I promise you, look into this. Look into YouTube videos and other people who do this. The more you do this, the more free your mind is going to be. And it makes it so easy to travel. So it depends on who you are. We're not backpack people.
Yes.
You could easily live with a backpack and that's it.
Yes.
So it's really powerful.
And another thing too is that these places will have everything that you need. You might think, I don't want to be buying things wherever I go or so on. But if you think about it, it's better for you to maybe not check the bag every time that you travel and then purchase a big thing of shampoo wherever you go.
Exactly.
You know, like,
so you don't travel with shampoo. You just use it, leave it, you know. Anyway, it gets into travel hacking,
But speaking of that, we do have a free travel planner spreadsheet that you can have it for free. And in that spreadsheet, there's a whole packing list. Yeah. There's budgeting that you can get organized.
There's actually a place too. If you want to see, you can just type in any destination. It's in one of the tabs here. It's not showing on the screen. You type it into the spreadsheet and it automatically generates a Google image link. So you can click. So anytime you're like, what is this place like? Google Images is an amazing, just a general like vibe of like, what is this place like? You enter in and click and it shows you on Google Images. So you can just type in a bunch of stuff and there's pre-built things. So you just click, click, click. Automatically opens Google Images, shows what the place is like. So yeah, you have the automatic Google image link generator. You have the packing checklist. It's like 99 items. Everything you could possibly pack to keep track of everything and also help you like, oh yeah, I need this. I want to make sure I have this. And also for your budgeting. It helps you keep, you know, track of all your budgeting and everything. So yeah, you can scan this QR code right here. And then you'll get access to it for free. This is a free, and we have another free bonus at the end, but yeah.
Yes. But what do you do with your current stuff? You have a bunch of stuff. I know we did. You have a few options. The first one, if you don't want to get rid of it, you can keep it with family. Ask someone for a little corner of their garage or storage room, and then you can keep it there. If you have a lot of things that you don't want to get rid of, you can also rent a storage unit. Now, I will say, I'm pretty sure everyone that we've encountered who are digital nomads who started by renting a storage unit later regretted because they said, we thought we would need this at some point, but we ended up just spending money paying for that. We should have just sold everything, which is the third option. This is what we did. Yeah. We literally sold everything that we had, almost everything that we had. We have like one suitcase.
My dad gave me a Wayne Gretzky signed hockey jersey. So he gave it to me as a gift, like, and then a year later, I'm like, could you, because I'm not going to sell that. That's special to me. So I'm like, could you keep this at your house?
Yeah. So we do a little bit of the first and the last. We sold 95% of the things we owned on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist. We had a super fun garage sale.
Yeah, or we didn't have because we were in an apartment. So an apartment sale, it was really cool. It was actually a really fun experience. And guess what? You'd be shocked. Like when you start selling stuff, you're like, first of all, it frees up, you know, your mental space and everything. It gives you the freedom to be able to travel. And then at the same time, it can give you like a really good budget that you can use to start a business. That you can use to start paying for travel.
It can get you started on Amazon. It can get you started traveling. We only had like college stuff. We didn't have anything fancy.
How much did we make? A few $1,000s?
Oh yeah, we made almost $10,000 on the things that we sold. And we donated a bunch as well.
Yeah.
So you'd
be shocked by the value of the stuff that you have and get rid of. And like there's some friends that I have, because I used to work for a moving company where I moved like wealthy families. There's certain families I know that have tens of thousands or $100,000+ worth of stuff that they never ever use. You'd be shocked. Seriously, the whole point of this is just, it's changing our mindset. It's things that we've never been taught or never thought before, but it's really, really powerful. So
yes. Now, what if you have a house?
Yeah.
If you own a house, the first option, yes, you can sell it. So you're not attached to it. You don't have that hanging over your head.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done. We never own houses, so
praise God.
Yes, we're happy that we don't. But what you can also do is actually rent it out on Airbnb or on other platforms. And this might actually turn into a really good thing. You might actually
it's a revenue stream.
Some revenue every month.
Yeah, you have your mortgage, right? You pay the bank, every month. Whatever that is, let's say it's 1,000, 2,000, whatever, but you can make, 3, 4, whatever thousand a month if you do it right by renting out Airbnb, at least cover, break even, or even make money. So you can actually turn your house into an asset that helps you travel the world.
Yes.
And it's not like, oh no, I can't. Yes, you'd be shocked. Yes, you can.
Yes. And one thing you can do, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be traveling the world. How can I manage? Maybe partner with a family member or a friend, or hire someone to manage it. Pay them a little bit of money. You can do your research on like what would work the best. But again, there's all these problems that we put in our minds. Oh, but I have this. Oh, but I can't go because I have a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but I have all this stuff. There's what do you really want? You can make it happen. There's solutions for everything.
Yeah, what your mind believes you can achieve.
Yes.
So what do you believe? What do you want in life? Like if you really like, man, I really at least want to experiment with travel. Maybe you do 3 or 4 months, you're like, oh, this isn't for me, and I appreciate my other life. Or you do it like most people and are like, I want to do this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like
we started thinking it was going to be 2 years, and now we're like, I don't know.
We're never gonna, we might change. We might have it like set up a home base, which we'll talk about here actually, and then travel from there. But yeah, just thinking differently and always thinking, how can I versus I can't.
Yes.
Have that mindset. How can I versus I can't. So travel logistics, right? You know, you're making money, you have what you need, you've selected a country, but like, how do I navigate going to this country and everything? So first of all, a really big tip, a lot of people think like, oh, when I travel, it's going to be rushed and back to back.
Like a vacation sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, you can travel as quickly or slowly as you want. And we'd recommend travel slow, especially when starting off.
Yeah.
Pick a country, expect to stay there for a while, you know, chill out, like take it slow. There's no rush. There's no rush. And what's really cool, what we do is we actually move home base to home base. So we do Airbnb to Airbnb basically in different countries around the world. Like right now we're here in beautiful Nairobi, Kenya. We're staying here for about 2 months. So we're in Kenya and we're working most of the time. And then when we're not working, we're going out to safaris and to the beach and different areas here in Kenya. But what you can do, because we travel more frequently than most people, is you can set up a home base somewhere like, for example, and this is a random kind of note, but like you can set up a home base in Europe and then travel around Europe. You can set up a home base in Malaysia, go all around Southeast Asia. A home base in Buenos Aires, Argentina, go all around South America.
Yes.
So set up a home base, a year, 2 years, for a while even, or a few months, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And have that base where you go out and then come back to the place. So
yeah, and also one reason why we recommend traveling slow is because of all the logistics that you do need to figure out to travel. You can easily get burned out if you go too fast.
Yeah, so start slow. Yeah,
there's that. There's financial incentives. Like again, you get discounts when the longer you stay on Airbnbs or everything. It's going to be cheaper for you. It's going to be better. You're going to be more productive at work.
Instead of like going from country to country, that's maybe a new visa for every country you need to get, a new flight ticket for every country you need to get, a new Airbnb for every country you need to get,
carrying everything you
new
have.
Culture. So it's like, oh, people here don't smoke. Oh, people here do this. Oh. No, like for example, we were going from the Netherlands to South Africa. Netherlands, it's mostly cash. Cape Town, South Africa, no cash. I'm like, whoa, like, so the constant travel, it's rewarding in some ways. We like it, you know, in moderation, but it's way easier. You know, one culture, you get settled in, you're in a place for a while.
Yeah.
You get used to everything, your routine, the gym, the restaurants, everything.
And then you take out like cheaper flights. Let's say you want to explore Southeast Asia. For example, get a place in Bangkok that is a little bit more central, I guess. And it's cheaper because you get it on like for a longer term, and then do cheaper flights to Malaysia.
A few days here, a week here, or whatever, wherever in Southeast Asia. And then once you kind of had your fill of Southeast Asia, maybe you go to Europe, you go to Africa, you go to South America, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the idea here. Just an idea, right? It's your life. You can do whatever you want. Just kind of, you know, some ways to think about it. And
in terms of getting flight tickets, the two best websites that we use is Google Flights and Skyscanner. The reasons are they have a few different features, but first of all, both of them, they compare different options. So we don't go in every single airline to figure out how much it's each. You type in your origin, destination, and when you're planning to go, and then they're going to show you several options from different airlines. Now, with Google Flights, you can, if you have a little bit of flexibility on your date, there's like a price grid, a date grid. You can find the cheapest place to go to come back. You can also track that exact date and that route, so it will notify you if it gets cheaper and so on. With Skyscanner, we really like because it's super customizable, the filters. If you're really picky like us, like, oh, I only want to leave after 10 a.m.
We don't do night flights. Yeah. We don't do night, like if it screws me over for the next day, we just don't do it. It can be a great option, but so Skyscanner is another great.
There's like the filters if you want to leave at 10, arrive at 8. Another thing is they combine different airlines better than other websites. So if it's a round trip, you can go with one airline, come back with another. So it's great.
Those are like the most powerful for like picking your flights to the country that you've selected.
Now, super exciting things, I guess, super excited about this. You can also travel for basically free using points and miles. And the best way to accumulate points and miles are with credit cards. Now, we're not advocating for credit card debt or anything.
No, definitely not.
It's using credit cards responsibly. So opening credit cards, getting the sign-up bonuses like the miles and the points, spending wisely. There's like all of these spending categories that you can get points, and then using those points and miles to pay for flights and stays and so on for free.
And that's what's really powerful. Like when you have your own business, like we do.
Yes. That's
another kind of advantage that I want to kind of highlight is you can get a business credit card, like this Chase Inc. business.
Exactly.
And you put, for example, we spend on advertising or influencers or, office supplies, or we hire a new person, whatever it might be.
Or purchasing products with supply. Yeah.
Yeah. Or, there's certain things we can write off, on our taxes. But all those business expenses we use with the card and get points. And literally it helps us fly. I mean, we fly a ton, so it's not all free, but like fly to so many places basically for free.
And there's a ton of perks with credit cards as well, like lounges and things like that make travel so much better. Yeah. So these are our top recommendations.
Yeah. This is, and it's like a side note. We don't have as much information on this yet. We might in the future. Just look up travel hacking, the points guy, points hacking, those kind of keywords on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's exciting stuff. And you can do this before you even start traveling.
Yes.
Not to overwhelm you, right? We don't want to, that's not what we want to do, but there's a lot of exciting stuff like a game.
But we're going to leave the link to these credit cards if you want to check them out. Some of them have no annual fees. Some of them have annual fees. But when you sum up all of the benefits, it is more than worth it. We have both options. And also wanted to highlight the best debit card. If you are a U.S. citizen or a U.S. resident, this is the #1 debit account that you should open. It's the Charles Schwab debit because it does, you get reimbursed for all ATM fees.
Yes. So some ATM, like the ATM I just went to, was like 5% or 10% fee even.
We never look at the fees.
But it gets redeemed, so we don't care.
Everything gets reimbursed. So we don't travel around with cash. We go to the place. We don't worry about going to exchange houses or anything. We withdraw from our account in the local currency, and we never pay for ATM fees. So that's definitely a recommendation I want to leave. And if you want to travel do the whole credit card and miles route, these are two websites that I highly recommend you checking out. One is Travel Freely. It has so many tips. It tells you exactly which credit card you should open, if there's any annual fees, if you should be canceling credit cards, all these things you can get organized for this whole travel hacking game. And Roam is the website that you can use to find out how you can pay for flights with miles. So instead of going again to each airline and seeing how much it is with miles, you put your origin, your destination, and it's going to tell you exactly how to transfer your points. Use this credit card, 20,000 miles, transfer to this airline, and then you get the thing. So,
so
highly recommend.
Again, it's all like, it's just crazy. All these tools and websites and everything that make travel easier and better and more efficient than ever.
And more comfortable.
Yeah, than ever. It's amazing. And
and also if you're worried about visas or documentation, do I really have to go and dive deep into research to find out what I need to enter a country? This is the go-to website. Go to Sherpa.com, I believe. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And all you need to do is input your passport, like your nationality, the country you're leaving, the country you're going, boom. Then it's going to show you if you need a visa. It might give you a link to apply for the visa. If you need to fill out forms, if you need travel insurance, everything is going to show there. So makes it super easy.
We basically went from how you're making money, choosing the country, how to get to that country, how to stay in that country. So you're there, right? Country area. And you want to plan your adventures because of course you want to have fun, right?
Yes.
So these are just a few sites we use for different kind of experiences, excursions, tours, things like that. Google's amazing. Seriously, Google, like just in your area, what things to do in my area. And there's literally, it's not Google search. It's a section of Google.
It's like Google Travel.
Google Travel. Yeah. It shows you like things to do with images just to kind of spur some things. Actually, ChatGPT is another great one as well. Airbnb experiences that we've actually used that a few times. It's really great. Like a local taking you through the city, telling you about the history, making your own gin or so many different things. Yeah. So many different things that are cool. Viator is also great as well. So it's just some cool sites to plan your adventures.
Yeah, when it comes to transportation, before we go, we're always looking into, okay, what is the ride sharing app that is available in that place? Most places have Uber, if not Bolt. It's also very popular.
Yeah, those two are the most common. Uber and Bolt are in most of the places that we stay. In general, it really depends on where you go, but so many countries have Uber and Bolt.
But a lot of times we also rent cars, especially when we're going to go to adventures. We used to rent cars for our entire stay because we were thinking we live in the US and we have a car all the time. So we need a car all the time here. No. But no, now we only rent. We
barely have, it's a few days a month that we have a car ever, or even a couple days because we're here in Kenya. We want to drive 4 hours to Amboseli National Park. We rent a car to go to Amboseli, come back, drop it off.
Yes.
That's simple,
And of course, public transportation. And another reason why we love staying at Airbnbs is because you have the host, a local most of the time. Or
someone who's very familiar. If
with
maybe they have, like us, our host is over in the Netherlands or Spain or whatever, but she's lived here and knows the area, knows people in the area. So it's like...
So you can ask them about the best transportation, how to get it. Is it a train, a bus? Where do I buy this? And so on. And they can give you all sorts of recommendations too. So definitely.
And kind of recapping, a beautiful quote that's really, really important to remember is, this is from Seneca. So we suffer more in our minds than in reality. A lot of the stress or anxiety that we have, we don't have someone putting a gun to our head right now. We don't have someone beating us up. We don't have any of these horrific things happening to us. Hopefully, gosh, I hope you're not watching this, that's happening. But it's in our minds. A lot of these obstacles or challenges don't actually exist. They just exist in our head. It's our head that's keeping us from it. So with that in mind, kind of recapping, like we said, step one, earn in a strong currency. British pound, US dollar, euro, Japanese yen. Get rid of and only have what you need. Either get rid of or kind of delegate and send off to friends or family. Choose a place using Nomad list, other things. You have the whole logistics of how to get there, and then take your first step, right? And what you can do with your first step is go for obviously you can watch all the videos and talk to people who've been there and the Facebook groups and all of that. But you can go just sort of like for vacation to test it out, see if it's worth going to, and then come back and do it, fully, right? You can always do that. For us, with everything we've covered here, this is enough for us to just go, and some experiences will be a little bit better than others, but we've never had I think so many people get hung up on that step of just going, what if this happens? What if this, what if I don't know this? Like I said, it's in the head. It's not in reality. Like, what if it's unsafe? We used to have those. The more countries we've gone to, we've realized man, the US is actually really dangerous. Yeah. It's really I used to live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Everyone said Cincinnati, Ohio is cheap. Cincinnati, Ohio is so expensive. When you look, but it's a global perspective versus, California is expensive.
It's just the limits too that we put in our minds. First of all, is the preconceptions. Two is the limits you put in your mind. I remember us living in the US, we're like, man, we would love to live by the beach, but there's Florida and there's California. We're like, today we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, there's the whole world.
Thailand, Bali, Croatia, Greece, Brazil, Mexico, just for the beach, right? And there's Cape Town,
and living better. Like he said, earn more, spend in a weaker currency. And we've lived in lifestyle-wise so much better than our 2-bedroom apartment in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the cold for less. That's what's amazing.
Yeah. So I hope you're excited. I mean, I know we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
If you have questions, like I said, be sure to comment for that chance to win a free 1-hour call. So any questions that you've written down that you're thinking, boom, you can ask us. Again, we're going to choose one lucky winner who's liked, subscribed, and commented. Tier 2, Hobart's Abroad. We have weekly travel tips, also destinations. We just came back, Tunisia, Istanbul, Kenya, all over the world, over 35 countries at this point with many more to come. And also follow Sumner and Allie, us, at our other YouTube channel, The Amazing Escape Plan, for in-depth business tutorials. Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, selling courses on Udemy, YouTube SEO, all of these things. You can learn more there for free. If you like this, then you're going to love that. And you can check out our affordable courses on Udemy, all things like Pinterest marketing, again, also Amazon, Etsy, copywriting, ChatGPT, all different topics, iPhone photography, it's all there. I can just type in.
All affordable. We wanted to make sure there's a lower, as little obstacles as possible for you to get started.
Yep. That there's nothing in your way to go and learn and get everything you need to start living your best life. So yeah, like I said, hope you found this valuable. Loved having you along. And the fact that you got to this point, congratulations.
Yes.
And for that, you can scan this for all the slides. You get the slides, you can get the free travel planner. You have the chance to win 1-hour call with us. Comment with any questions that you have, and we'll try to get back to as many as possible. Once this video goes viral, I can't promise it, So yeah, really appreciate. Hope you're excited. Very excited for you.
Yes.
Yeah, we're wishing, you, your business, your family, all the best. Happy travels, and we look forward to seeing you in future videos. Until then,
bye.